Hi there. So if I had to start content creation from absolute zero again, I will pick these two cameras. The Osmo Action 4 and the DJI Mini 4K. These are small, affordable cameras that are easy to bring with you. When you start out, you don't need a mountain of gear. You need a raw, unfiltered, creative spark. And you want zero friction between your brain and the record button. These two little powerhouses are a complete ecosystem that allows you to capture life, motion, and epic scale instantly. So grab your coffee, beautiful, and let's talk about the ultimate minimalistic 2-camera blueprint to crush it on YouTube. Cheers. You see, content creation is all about staying in the flow state. The second you start overthinking your gear or your settings, or carrying a massive backpack that weighs 40 pounds, the creativity dies a bit. What I love about this specific DJI duo is that they are like meant to move. They speak the same language, they use the same app, so I could just edit directly on my phone if I wanted to. On top of that, they match each other beautifully. It's an elegant, lightweight ecosystem that lets you be a one-man production without losing your mind in the process. It's pure, fast, satisfying. Alright, let's talk about the absolute workhorse in this setup. This is my daily driver. The camera that I always bring with me. This is the camera that's going to capture your face, your hands, your life, and the world around you. The DJI Osmo Action 4. Now when people think about making videos, they might picture this massive production lifestyle. They imagine setting up a giant station, turning on 3 different studio lights. Well, that's not so bad actually, but then you want to go outside, and what if it's raining? So either we have that complex setup and an action camera, or then we just use the action camera for all of that. Listen to this. The sound of absolute creative freedom. This magnetic system is a cheat code for solo creators. So if I'm sitting here creating a video and suddenly I want to show you something from a different view, like this cup of coffee, or even a point of view shot, I don't spend minutes unscrewing plates. I snap it off the mount and slap it onto a chest mount. A different angle, basically 0 seconds wasted. And let's talk about the modern landscape of content creation. You aren't just making horizontal videos anymore. Sometimes you do shorts and reels. With this, you can just flip the camera vertically, snap the magnet back on, and you're shooting native 9:16 vertical video. So it's so small, so you can just grab it from your pocket. Just press the top button and within seconds you are recording. You're trying to build a channel from nothing. That lack of friction is the exact difference between making a video or giving up because you're so tired setting up gear. It's a tiny beast. And as time goes by, you might feel like, hey, I really enjoy the process of setting up things and using the best camera settings. But then you have already learned so much from this camera. It's gonna be so much easier to set up a more complicated gear than it would have been if you started that way. So now when you have your primary camera sorted out to capture your main story, you need something else. You need the magic ingredient that takes your production value up a bit. You need atmosphere, you need depth. And this is where this comes in. The DJI Mini 4K. This thing fits in the palm of my hand, and it weighs less than a standard cup of coffee. But the second you put this thing up in the air, your entire creative perspective shifts completely. If you just sit at a desk, like I'm doing right now, and talk to the lens for 5 or 20 or 30 minutes, or when you're just vlogging ground level, we can make things so much more interesting with some aerial shots. I like to use the drone when I want to reveal the area I'm in. Imagine taking a walk in the forest and doing content at the same time. You do your normal vlogging on the ground, and then you cut a beautiful cinematic shot of the drone flying over the trees in the morning mist. Instantly your video feels more intentional. It signals to the person watching that, hey, I care about craft, I care about what you are watching. And the best part is not just only the image quality of this drone, it's also the size and how lightweight it is, which makes it incredibly easy to bring with you. You pull it out from your tiny camera bag, unfold the arms, connect your phone to the controller, and you own the sky. Alright, so you have these two completely different perspectives. How do you actually make them talk to each other? How do we take our ground footage and seamlessly wave it into the aerial footage so they feel like one cinematic story? Here I'm walking up the stairs, getting higher and higher up. And as I reach the top, I want to show the audience what the place actually looks like from above. And when you match the resolution and the frame rate from both devices, the camera hardware just dissolves into the background. The viewers stop thinking about what gear you're using, and they start feeling the rhythm of your edit instead. You're suddenly holding the strings of their attention span, guiding them effortlessly from the ground to a massive perspective in the clouds. That's how you turn simple tools into pure filmmaking magic. Let's look at the bigger picture here, because boundaries actually breed creativity. When you only have two simple cameras to work with, you're forced to focus on what actually matters. Your story and your ideas. That is exactly when the magic happens. You learn how to maximize every single shot, how to frame your environment, and how to keep your audience engaged. Creativity will always beat expensive gear. By keeping your gear simple, you build the core habits that will make you a better creator in the long run. So Jonte, do you mean that the Action 4 is better than the Action 5 and the Action 6? Or is the DJI Mini 4K better than the Neo 2? No, I don't mean that at all. But I have used this camera for a couple of years now. And do I feel like I need to upgrade already? Nah, not when you already get such a good footage from these cameras. And this might sound a bit cliché, but at the end of the day, the best camera setup in the world is the one that's with you, charged and ready to shoot. This combo of the Action 4 and the Mini 4K removes every single excuse. It gives you the stability on the ground and the epic scale in the air. So stop waiting, charge your batteries, and just hit record. Let me know in the comments what setup you will start out with. Also, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I see you in the next one. Bye.